Hi, today we're going to talk about transitional words, when and how to use transitional words in informational text writing. Sometimes when we're writing informational text, we get confused on where to go, how do we move from one idea or concept to another. Good writers know that when they are moving from one concept or idea, that they use transitional words. They use words that help their informational text read more fluently. They make sure that whatever they're writing flows like a smooth flowing stream. The concepts and ideas don't become disjointed or disconnected because you move from one idea or way of thinking to another, or you move from one detail to another without letting the reader know or your audience know that that is what you intend to do, that you've finished explaining or talking about one concept or idea. Now it's time to talk about something new or something different. And good writers do this with using transitional words and phrases. Now, transitional words are used based on the type of writing. So if you're adding information, you would use words that let a reader know that you're not finished with that particular concept or idea, but you're going to add to it. You might say things like also, and, for example, together with, likewise. If you are writing a compare and contrast paper, you might say, on the other hand, or like, or however, or consider. Nevertheless is a good one when writing compare and contrast. If you to clarify, you might say, for example, or state to clarify and put what concept or idea you're trying to make clear to your reader or your audience. You also could use a phrase like, in other words. That lets the reader know that you're talking about the same thing, you're just saying it in a different way. Also, if you're writing sequential or order, you might use first, second, third, or you might say before or after. You might give descriptions like above or beneath, in or on, down, up. Those are just a few examples of words that you can use to add to your paper to let the audience or the reader know that you are adding, you are summarizing, you are clarifying, you're showing direction. That lets them know that you're moving on or you're adding to. And it helps with the flow, the fluency of your writing. So now what I want you to do is take a look at your text. Look at some places that you might consider adding some transitional words. Look at the beginning of your paragraphs. Look at when you are adding an example or talking about something. Is that a good place for you to add a transitional word? Take a few minutes and read over your first couple of paragraphs. See if there's a spot in there where you can add some transition. If you've done that, then scan over your entire paper. See where you can add some transitional words to help clarify, to help move from one idea or concept to another. Take a few moments and look at your paper. Now, what I want you to do is turn and talk to a neighbor. Explain to them or ask for their opinion on where or how you can add a transitional word or two to your paper. Share out loud with your partner where you may have added or get their thoughts on where you should add. Take 2 or 3 minutes. for each person to share their paper. Now that you've scanned your paper, you've solicited the help from a peer or your partner. Now what I want you to do is take a closer look at your paper. Go back from your hook all the way down through your conclusion and add transitional words and phrases where you think it's going to enhance or make better your writing. Look at if you are writing sequential order. Look at if you're illustrating, if you are writing cause and effect, if you are comparing and contrasting. Look for ways to emphasize a point that you really want to drive home. Look for places where adding a transitional word or phrase will add strength to what you're writing. Now, what I want you to do is look for those places. And if you are not sure, ask a friend, ask a peer what they think or where they think you should add a particular word or phrase. This is only going to make your informational text stronger and better. Happy writing.